Who is that?
This is the end of the mystery.
Well, well, if it isn't our old friend
Orvar. Hello Internet, you've tuned into the Video Grant TVG here. Today I'm bringing you a budget EDH deck tech spotlight on Moritte of the Frost. So much fun on a budget. So our commander is Moritte of the Frost, 2 blue, double blue, legendary snow creature shapeshifter. It has changeling. You may have Moritte of the Frost enter the battlefield as a copy of a permanent you control, except it's legendary and snow in addition to its other types. And, if it's a creature, it enters with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it and has changeling. Moritte is a pretty standard clone commander. Nothing really too exciting about it. However, we have a secret commander, which is our main focus of the deck, which is actually in Orvar. Orvar, the all form, is a 4-drop, 3 and a blue, legendary creature, shapeshifter, 3/3 stats, changeling. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, if it targets one or more other permanents you control, create a token that's a copy of one of those permanents. And when a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard this card, create a token that's a copy of target permanent. We don't really care about that text. Orvar is our secret commander. Having access to green makes Orvar a lot stronger. There's a lot of strong green cantrips, and we get access to ramp and some better recursion creatures. We'll talk about them more in a little bit. But really, this is an Orvar deck more so than a Moritte deck. So we gotta find Orvar. Running some spells such as Uncage the Menagerie, Shared Summons, Brutalizer Exarch, and Mara Harbinger. Mara Harbinger is good because we have a couple merfolk in our deck, and because of Changeling, Orvar is technically a merfolk at every point in our deck, so we can easily tutor it up and put it on top of our deck. Uncage the Menagerie and Shared Summons and Brutalizer Exarch just act as pretty easy tutors, allowing us to tutor up any of our many value creatures that we have within our deck. Then we have our Recursion Package. Getting access to green, where you gotta be running cards like Eternal Witness, Mnemonic Wall, and Shipwreck Dowser, all get back instants and sorceries from our graveyard, which can lead to some combo shenanigans, especially with Orvar in play, being able to constantly get our instants and sorceries back from our graveyard. Then we got our value creatures. They're not really special, but they're good cards to have in any green and blue deck, and being able to make clones of them can lead to some really powerful board states that our opponent can't get through. Coiling Oracle is a fantastic card draw / ramp spell. Root Weaver Druid is a nice group hug addition, but does allow us to take lands from our opponent, kind of acting as pseudo ramp for us. Acidic Slime is everyone's favorite ooze, and Peregrine Drake can lead to a lot of combos because when it enters the battlefield, we untap up to 5 lands. Next up, we got our cantrips. You want to run cards that draw us cards or give us some sort of form of card value. Cerulean Wisp, Confront the Unknown, Quick Change, Mage's Guile. All of these are easy ways to target our own creatures, give them some sort of benefit, kind of, and then being able to draw a card and replenish themselves. Then we got our finishers. Since we're on a budget, we don't have access to some of the biggest creatures we could use, but some fun ones are cards like Vile Visionary, which reads, at the beginning of the end step, if you control 4 or more creatures named Vile Visionary, you win the game. Pretty easy way to win with Orvar. Endray's Forerunners is our mini boar. It'll come in, pump all of our creatures, and we just go in for the quick damage kill. And Meteor Golem to just take away your opponent's will to live. We have access to all kind of ramps, such as Rampant Growth, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, and Circuitous Route. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're in green, run some ramp. As far as the mana base goes, that'll also depend on your budget, but I went for a very budget build. Some notable inclusions are Rimewood Falls, Littjara Mirror Lake, and Simic Growth Chamber. Littjara Mirror Lake being able to just be another clone effect in our deck that can't really be countered since it's an activated ability of a land. Next, I want to talk about one of the combos in the deck that we have. It's basically a 3-card combo. You can see it in Pauper and a couple other formats. Using the cards Peregrine Drake, Archaeomancer, and Ghostly Flicker, you're able to generate infinite mana. Peregrine Drake is in play, Archaeomancer is in play. You cast Ghostly Flicker, you target both of them. They bounce, come back in, Ghostly Flicker is in the graveyard due to the state-based action. Peregrine Drake lets you untap 5 lands, Archaeomancer will put Ghostly Flicker back into your hand. You tap 3 mana, you have 2 extra mana floating, cast Ghostly Flicker, and repeat the process ad nauseum. This will allow you to make infinite mana. What are you going to do with infinite mana? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what your favorite way to win with infinite mana is. For me, it's probably just being able to make infinite clones and just keep recurring my deck. Then we have some upgrades. So the upgrades will depend on what style of deck you really want to do. You can run some cheaper ones, such as Elvish Harbinger. It's just a little too expensive for the budget build, but it acts as a much cheaper Marrow Harbinger. Spellseeker, to be able to toot up all the spells in our deck. Avenger of Zendikar, because it's awesome. And Hoof Daddy, because you really want to kill your opponents as quickly as possible. One more part of the upgrades would be sort of a combo build, kind of big brain mode. This one requires Moritte. You want Moritte and some creature with Persist, Lesser Mastercore, Woodfall Primus, and then Altar of Dementia. So how this works is Lesser Mastercore and Woodfall Primus both have Persist, which says whenever this creature dies, if it had no -1/-1 counters on it, you return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a -1/-1 counter on it. Moritte enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counter. A -1/-1 counter and a +1/+1 counter cancel each other out, so it has no -1/-1 counter again. So you can keep sacking it over and over again to Altar of Dementia, basically to mill out your opponent's decks. It is a combo you can run in the deck. It's not terribly expensive. It's just not something that I personally really want to be running in my Moritte deck. But let me know what you think in the comments down below about that. And that brings us to the end of our EDH deck tech spotlight on Moritte and Orvar on a budget. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the video, what you would like to see next, and hey, what would you run in your version of the deck? Tune in to the next episode, and I'll see you next time.